Welcome back. 4 factors that tell when you're actually ready to lose weight. Whether you're trying to lose weight, recover from burnout, start a workout plan, understand your body better, lower your cholesterol, inspire or empower your customers, your family, your community, anything like that, you got to know about the process of change and know what makes you ready to change so like you get the results that you want for yourself or for others to make their own decisions with that. And so if you're having questions like, am I ready? Can I really do this? What will make this time different from other attempts? This is a video that you got to see. Welcome back. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. I'm going through this coaching senior fitness continuing education for my personal training certification. And this is also part of the guilt-free framework. This is the undertones of why the guilt-free framework works and the stages of change that I cover in the Health Confidence Club that's linked below. So check that out. A lot of times what happens is you will get stuck looking for, all the information, having all the facts, and that can be hard enough to do on the internet in the first place. But having the right information isn't enough. You might get stuck if you don't know how you make decisions, if you are jumping into things, or if you are hesitating to start without considerations for these factors that contribute to your change. Then it's easy to get stuck, fall off track, lose motivation, feel bad, feel guilty. This is a guilt-free framework, guilt-free game plan. So I want to help you get past that. So let's get into this. This is the health belief model, and it's used to better understand the process and take confident ownership of your path. And the idea behind it is that people's ideas and underlying emotions about illnesses, prevention, and treatments may influence health behaviors and decisions about whether to change those behaviors. Click like if this is making sense to you so far. Okay, and so here is a picture in here. Perceived susceptibility, perceived seriousness add up to your perception of a health threat, regardless of whether you have it or not. If you are, aware of it or your thoughts of it, that's going to make a difference. And then on the bottom, your benefits, perceived benefits of change, and your perceived barriers of change will determine if you change your behavior. And all those things combine to your decision in whether you decide to change. All right. So those are the 4 things that you want to pay attention if you're deciding if you're ready to start. Let's break it down a little bit. 1, perceived susceptibility to an illness. The question that you might ask is, how likely is it to happen to me? And I want you to think about this in context of your health, but also in the context of your business and how you're working with other people. If you want to influence someone's change, how likely is the problem going to happen to them? Or is it something that you can delay if it's urgent? These kinds of things are that part 1. Part 2, perceived seriousness of that illness. Questions that you might come up with: can this kill me? Will it diminish my quality of life? Why is this happening? Is there something I could have done to prevent this or keep it from happening again in the future? These also come up when you're talking about perceiving the seriousness of an illness, and you can make decisions on what kind of changes you make or assess your health threat and how important it is to make those changes. Something that I want to point out here is that my vision is every entrepreneur knows what the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams looks like. So it's not just about getting through your day-to-day and coasting and, doing whatever. It's really about doing what you want and feeling empowered while you do that. So in terms of relative quality of life, if you think that you could be doing better, I want to give you the process and understanding of how you can be doing that for yourself. So ask yourself that question every once in a while. What does the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams look like? Okay. The third thing to look for: perceived benefits of changing to health-related behavior. Questions you'll have at this stage is, how will this make my life better? Will it make a difference? Is it worth changing my current habits and routine? And do I believe I can do it? Huge in perceived benefits. And then 4, perceived barriers to changing the health-related behavior. Questions you'll have at that point are, what challenges could I face? Will it make me too uncomfortable? Can I keep it up? Can I maintain it? Do I need equipment? What kind of things do I need to do? Will it cost anything? Will it be too expensive? Will I look stupid if I try this? Social elements play into it. And what if I fail? And these are all perceived barriers to changing the health-related behavior that can keep you stuck or even from getting started. And that can be problematic if you have a health threat or something that you want to change. And so all of this comes to say that you can use a health expert or an expert that give relevant information and correct any misunderstandings that you have, so you can kind of shift those elements, those 4 elements, to either identify your health threat or change your health behaviors or decide if a change is appropriate for you. Um, Coming back to this, what challenges could I face? Will it make me too uncomfortable? These kinds of things will pop up if you're thinking about changing your behavior. This is really normal. And I covered this in a video, why limiting beliefs are key to your health and business goals. And that's that kind of expertise that I'm trying to share in these YouTube videos. So appreciate your subscription if you're not already subscribed. Next, once you've identified a health threat, the perceived benefits of changing must be greater than the perceived barriers to changing. And that's a big thing. It's not just about identifying a threat, it's about recognizing, is it more important to change, or is it more important or convenient to stay the same? And you have to shift that if you want to change your behavior and keep it sustainable. All right. And that's what the guilt-free framework does. It builds your confidence, realistic focus, and accountability to engage your health and kind of adjust those items so you understand, you're worth it. You can do it. You can make those changes. It's realistic. If you choose realistic targets that aren't too difficult, that makes it easy. And then having a process for ownership / accountability, so you have follow-up, you can actually see those changes and keep them. So I've got an example for you here. This happens all the time. If things are going reasonably well, you don't have any problems, especially in terms of like your day-to-day life and healthy eating or eating in general, your regular physical activity. You don't really have any problems. You might have a little tummy or something that he's like, I might change that one day. At this stage, things are going well. You have low susceptibility, low perceived seriousness, and no need or benefits of changing. And then inertia is a big barrier. So it's not always fun to make these changes. Let me pull this back up for you. If things are going well, you have no health threat, no identified or perceived health threat, and your health behavior is not likely to change. So that is the kind of status quo of how things are going. And what that is in another stage of change model of trans-theoretical, is called pre-contemplation. And so you don't think you have to change. So why would you even consider changing at that point? However, in real life, there are events that happen that cause you to change very suddenly sometimes. So in this example, we're going to go with a doctor visit that ends up with a pre-diabetes diagnosis. Your doctor's like, okay, so you have some insulin resistance, you have some challenges here. You're on the path to type 2 diabetes. So you need to make some changes now so you don't have to have that permanent or long-term chronic disease status. All right. And so now things are very different. Perceived susceptibility. How likely is it to happen to me? Your doctor told you if you don't make these changes, then you're probably going to have type 2 diabetes. That increases that perceived susceptibility way up. And then the perceived seriousness. Can this kill me? Will it diminish my quality of life? Those daily or weekly injections for insulin or GLP-1 receptor agonists, or however your doctor decides to treat that, can change your quality of life substantially. So you want to identify that, and that's going to increase your perceived seriousness. Now, if your doctor said something casual like, okay, you could lose 5 pounds, you might think that's not that serious. But if your doctor tells you like, okay, if you don't make changes now, you're going to have some lasting impact on the rest of your life, that seriousness is way up. All right, so let me show you that picture one more time, or again, on the top half. Okay, and so when you have that diagnosis or that event, that change, you might start to ask yourself, why is this happening? Is there something I could have done to prevent it or keep it from happening again in the future? So this is normal, part of the process when it comes to change. And so now officially you've identified a health threat, and it's up to you if you will change your health behavior. You still get a choice when it comes to this. A lot of times if people don't perceive a health threat, then they make a change and they drop it because it's not important enough. But if you have these elements of susceptibility and seriousness that are there, you're going to be more willing to make those changes. And that is key to the next step. All right. Next, you want to look at benefits of changing. What kind of benefits would you get? In this case, in this example, you could not have diabetes or not develop full-blown diabetes, I guess, or need medications. You can increase your quality of life, survivability, maintain your quality of life, anything like that. You might lose some weight if you make some changes in your behavior, all those kinds of things. The barriers are changing. All right. So then you have those questions, those limiting beliefs about, can I do it? Can I make the changes? What's it going to cost? How hard is it going to be? All that. So think about those. Next, the benefits of staying the same. And this is something that a lot of people don't consider. in the change process is something I know from positive behavior support, a graduate certificate in that, and behavior change and studying it, is that a lot of times there are tons of benefits to keeping the same routine, not making changes, not changing your habits in terms of your daily routine, things you're doing, people you're hanging out with, the food choices you're making, the choices you're making in general. It's very easy to keep those because the habits are more efficient usually. They take less concentration. So this is going to be a factor in whether you're willing or able to make changes, as well as considering the benefits and those other factors we talked about. So that's the quick summary. Those are the 4 things. Let's look at the picture. For a quick recap, your perceived susceptibility, perceived seriousness, benefits, and barriers are all factors in whether you make a change. And the guilt-free framework is a confidence, realistic focus, and accountability that helps you develop those things. So now you know the process for behavior change. If you're ready to change or you want a coach who is already ahead of you in understanding it, like Sunday night, I'm reading this process of change when you're probably just chilling, eating some snacks. Then check out the Health Habits Challenge that's linked below. It's like a 7-day newsletter to get you on the right track to make changes. It gives you some action items that you can take. So once you are ready to change, or if you're considering it, this makes it really easy for you to do that, identify the benefits of changing, like what happens if you drink more water, how's that going to improve your quality of life, how easy can you make it, all those things. And I also have a video that I made a few weeks ago. You can watch it, 3 simple weight loss strategies that work for entrepreneurs. So you can get started right now if you're ready to make changes. So click like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this change process. If you have more questions, leave them in the comments. And as always, keep practicing. Peace.